All right. So tonight we'll start off with a Q&A session. These two persons who asked the question, first question and also the second question, these two persons, also they asked some, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, also very technical question. And tonight only I have 2 questions and nothing else really. Anyway, but tonight one is not so technical. Although the words are technical, but the understanding is not so technical. Question number 2 is Niyata Vyākarana, sure prediction made by a Buddha, so important to determine a neyya class individual in her encounter with a Buddha sasana and release from ills. Number 2, does this mean if one putting forth effort in treading the Noble Eightfold Way, have mature paramis with right view, etc., it cannot lead one towards liberation? Now, when I get these 2 questions, I kind of know where is it coming from already. It is coming from one question also was being asked in the past, I think about a month ago. We also discussed a little bit on some of these things also. This first question, the statement comes from the Requisites of Enlightenment by Lady Sayadaw. By Requisites of Enlightenment, and this one question 1 and question 2 here, I'm going to explain it together. But first of all, I need to show you the text first. I need to show you the text in order for us to understand what you mean by sure prediction, neyya class, and these things. If for those people who do not know what I'm talking about. All right. So, can y'all see? Bodhipakya Dipani, the manual of the requisites of enlightenment. Now, this book here, y'all can able to download it from the internet. There's a lot of places. The book is called The Manual of the Requisites of Enlightenment. And then this is by Lady Sayadaw. But this manual, this Dipani, this manual, it doesn't, this Lady Sayadaw didn't write one requisite of enlightenment. He wrote a number of it. Wait, now I think I have a book here. Hold on. I have a book here. It's called The Manual of Buddhism. All right. And inside this Manual of Buddhism, they have a few manuals that's combined together. And one of it is the requisites of enlightenment. Another one is the manual of right view. I tell you all kinds of right view. Then the manual of certainty or niyama dipani. Then you have path, the manual of the path. Then you have the manual of the four truth, everything. And so there's a lot of explanation. So one of the manual is this manual of requisites of enlightenment. Now I can share your screen again. Okay. All right. Now here in this manual of, can you all see the this one? All right. Okay, good. Now let me remove this first. Okay. Now here there are 4 types of person that they in the 1 month ago, I think one or more, a bit more. There's 4 types of person that is going to able to have attainment. One is this Ugahati Titanyu. Here this person is unit who able to just hear a little bit, then you can able to attain already. Encounter the Buddha, you listen to a little bit, then attain the path of fruition already. Number two is that you are going to hear a little bit more, hear a little bit more, some length, then only you can able to attain. Now, in the nowadays, we only have number 3 and number 4. Number 3 is that when you practice for a long period of time, and also you must learn quite a lot, and you have to practice definitely, then only you can able to attain the liberation. Maybe it says that over here, it says for days, months, or years, in order that he may attain the path and fruit. Okay? Now, number 4 here, it says that you cannot attain in this life. Although you may able to meditate, but you may not able to attain in this life, but you can attain in the next life, or when you meet with the Buddha Sasana again. Okay? When you meet with the Buddha Sasana again. Now, so these are the 4 classes. Now, if you want to go and read, further reading, you go and look out for it. I've just explained to you this one briefly. Now here, the neyya class, just now the question number 1, it asking about the Niyata Vyākarana, sure prediction made by the Buddha. Here, what it means by a sure prediction. Now here, before we talk about it now, if the effort during this life is not sufficiently intense as to enable one to attain the path and fruit, then the release from the worldly ills cannot be obtained during the present sasana, which, while released during the future sasana, can be obtained only if the individual encounters them. No release can be obtained if no Buddha Sasana is encountered. It is only in the case of individuals who have secured Niyata Vyākarana, sure prediction made by a Buddha, that an encounter with the Buddha Sasana and release from the worldly ills is certain. Any individual who has not attained sure prediction cannot be certain either of encountering a Buddha Sasana or achieving release from the worldly ills, even though he has accumulated sufficient paramis to make both of these achievements possible. Now, these are considerations in respect of those individuals who possess the capability of attaining the path and fruit by putting forth effort for 7 days, but who have not attained the sure prediction. Okay? For 15 days or longer. All right. Okay. Now, if you want to read some more things, there are further description about all these things. But right now, while we are here in this time, there's only, sorry, go back again. There's only 3 and 4 only. 1 and 2, none. It's not the time right now. But then sometimes there are monks who says that, some monks who says that, oh, no problem. All you need to do is just read the suttas will do. All the suttas, if you have read, then you're already sotapanna already. No, not so simple. You have to put in a lot of effort to practice. A lot of effort. Those who think that just by reading the suttas, then you can get enlightenment. You're already, and you believe that, you fall into a lot of wrong view already. And also another type is that they don't want to practice one. There's another one is that they want to go and listen to what some sayadaw or what some ajahn says, what some longpo says, all this, and then some chanting they do, then only immediately can get enlightened. That also impossible for nowadays. For nowadays. So this is what it means by over here. Okay, now we go back to the question again. We go back to the question. We stop the sharing. We go back to the question. Okay. Can you all see the question again? Okay. All right. So, is Niyata Vyākarana, sure prediction made by a Buddha, so important to determine a neyya class individual in his encounter with the Buddha Sasana and release from the worldly ills? Now, if your question number one and number two, of course, if we, let's say, if we do not have any sure prediction, then all our effort cannot be attained already. That is to say, anyone want to attain nibbana, you must have a prediction. That is not like that. Now, what do you mean by a sure prediction of the Buddha? A sure prediction here, it means that sure prediction, it means that the Buddha predict that what is really is going to happen. But the Buddha has no part involved in it, it doesn't have a part involved in it. It's just that the Buddha can see the outcome, but the Buddha has no part into it. All the part that the person that is going to attain the Buddha, which is omnisciency, with his omnisciency, he can able to see what the person will do, how he will do it, and how he will meditate, and how he will able to gain the liberation. Even at this, let's say right now the Buddha is around, and you gain the sure prediction of the Buddha. That means when the Buddha sees that you have a sure prediction, that means the Buddha knows that this person you will have the ability in the coming future to develop fully until you can able to gain the full liberation. But the Buddha, as I said, the Buddha has no part into it. The person has to do all the work himself. Okay, the person has to do the work himself. There's no interference by the Buddha. Now, when the Buddha able to see that person, that means he knows that the person has the capability to develop. Even right now, at this moment of time, he doesn't have all this mental cultivation, nothing yet. He doesn't have all this capability yet. He sees that this person or this being in the future will definitely be able to gain full liberation. Sometimes in this life or in the future lives. Sometimes future life means very far into the future too. So therefore, a sure prediction is the Buddha can see what is going to happen, but the Buddha has no part doing your development for you. So don't think a sure prediction is like that. Now, a neyya class of individual here. Here, the neyya class of individual is that right now, for example, like right now, we don't have a Buddha. We don't have the Buddha to make the prediction for us, And also, the Buddha also have no time to go and look into your future. Also, all for everybody, everybody want to know. And then some people thought that, make sure prediction already, and then now can shake leg already, and no need to develop so much. Surely the Buddha sees already, surely can arrive already. It's not like that. So you got to make a effort. Now, here this is our time right now, for example. We do not have a Buddha to this one. You don't go and believe next time. Any monk will tell you, sure to get already. That one, the sure prediction belongs to the Buddha only. It cannot belong to bhikkhu or even to Sariputta also. It's not within our capability. It's a capability only for the Buddha. So sometimes some monks wants to make a prediction of this yogi or this monk or this nun in coming future and so on. So he want to surely get ready. Like that. You all be careful. If you can predict, you must go and predict the number better. At least you'll get rich. Which is actually right now, there are some monks who do that, Sometimes you read in the newspaper. I read at one time, not too long ago, recently on here, some businessman going to see the monk. The monk gave him the 4 number or the lottery number, and then he got the 4 number. So chun chun, and then so correctly predicted the number, and then after that he got a lot of money, and then he donate back to some money to this one, and then come out in newspaper. This is not what we do, prediction. So anyway, this one belongs to the Buddha. So now we do not have that thing. When we do not have that thing, we do not know how our path will take place. When we do not know how the path will take place, then we must make the effort. We must make the effort to develop what needs to be developed. What needs to be cultivated, you need to cultivate it as much as you can. Now, if this life you cannot attain, next life, if you become a deva, and if you become a deva, and then if the sasana is still around, then there's a possibility that you may attain in the next life. Because if you have, for neyya class, or this class of people, you need to meet a sasana. You need to meet the teachings of the Buddha. If so happen in the next life you cannot able to see the sasana, then in the future Buddha, perhaps you may able to meet the perhaps if you meet the sasana again, then yes, you can liberate from there. But for neyya class is that these people is like, if you practice a lot, then you can actually develop it. If you cannot, then you wait for the next life or the future lives. But for the 4th class just now, the Pada Parama, that one, although he practiced a lot, but this life he cannot able to attain until he meet with the future lives, or in the next life when there's a sasana around, then he this one. So in this life, the 4th class is that he cannot able to this one. So we do not know whether we are in the 3rd class or 4th class. Right now, how are you going to know? Who's going to predict you? Who's going to look at you? We have no Buddha to look at us right now. So we try. We keep trying and trying and trying. We keep development and development. So if we develop the Noble Eightfold Path and the Satipatthana, and develop the 4 right efforts, 4 foundation of mindfulness, and so on. If we keep on developing and developing, then surely there will come to a time that whether in this life or next life or in the future lives, there will be attainment. But if you are lax, if you do not want to practice, if you go into a wrong view, if you go into all kinds of worldly attachments, then of course it will not be possible in this life, or perhaps also in next life. So, but if you are inclined, your mind is inclined towards it, then there is possibility. So, a lot of us right now have. You don't have an idea what it means by striving. Some people have an idea that striving is meditate at home, meditate 1 hour per day will do. That is their striving already. That is not the striving yet. That is not enough. Not enough for 99.99% people. Not enough for 99. Maybe there's 1% who maybe there's a very 0.01%. Maybe there's possibility, but for 99.99% of you, impossible. You all need a lot of striving. That means you need to be away from the things that you love, the things that you like. Your daily habits and your daily career and your people that you love. In other words, you have to go into a retreat from the worldly pleasures and the worldly connections and the worldly habits and so on. A retreat from it, And when you're away from it, then only you have when you have a right teacher, the right view, the right precepts, the right virtue, the right concentration, the right foundation of mindfulness and so on. Then when you strive and you do it again repeatedly, day, afternoon, night, again and again, 7 days, 10 days, 2 weeks, 1 year, and that is striving. And the whole day is about that only. Whole day is about that. Even when you're eating, you also strive. Whether you are in defecating, you also strive. Whether you are in urinating, you also strive. There's no such thing as making it lax and so on. Only when you're sleeping, you cannot strive. Of course, that's the only time you can rest. But the moment that you start off, you wear your clothes, you wear your robes or anything, it already starts being mindful, being alert, being attentive already. This is what we call striving. So, here in the question 1 and 2, as I said, we put it all into one. We don't need a prediction of a Buddha. A prediction of the Buddha here is only for certain individuals only. When the Buddha met, and he knows that that person surely will go. Even if he doesn't have that prediction, even the Buddha doesn't put the prediction there, he will also attain already. The Buddha, because the Buddha can able to see that the Buddha make the prediction. But even as I said, even the Buddha didn't make the prediction, that person also will attain already in this life, for example. So, as I said, the prediction here is just a prediction by the Buddha. But because of the omnisciency, that means it was sure to happen already. So, as I said, it doesn't involve in our effort, in our this one. We still have to cultivate that effort, cultivate the mindfulness and so on. So therefore, when we cultivate it well enough, then there's liberation. Okay? So that's about it for tonight. 2 questions only. All right. Anything else in the chat? Nothing. Okay. All right then. So we call it a night, and then we'll continue on the talk on the mindfulness on Monday. All right. Okay.